For people who don't know, Hidden Road is was started by in 2018 by this guy Mark Ash. He was an exec at what is who's the guy that SAC Capital
Yeah.
Point 72. He's an exec from Point 72. Set up the shop in like global shop, Netherlands, UK. I think they're actually structured headquartered in the BVI. Shout out Nick Carter. I think they backed them. They led the first round in 2018. Basically, they are an institutional prime brokerage firm, right? So basically, so they do clearing, financing. They clear more than 3 trillion annually across markets.
Started not just crypto.
Not just crypto. So they actually started as an FX firm and then expanded into crypto. 300 institutional clients, everyone from like Wintermute to Virtu trades on them.
Oh.
And they're a massive, massive, massive clearinghouse.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that the crypto market is being shaken by forces you can't see? Forces that can either make you a fortune or leave you in the dust. There's a secret storm brewing, billions of coins unleashed, billionaire legends stepping down, and tech giants flipping the script on crypto rules. It's all happening right now, and the clock is ticking. Ripple just dropped $1 billion XRP into the market with new rules that could change everything. Warren Buffett, the guy who called Bitcoin rat poison, is walking away from Berkshire Hathaway. Could this signal a massive shift in traditional finance? And Apple, the tech titan, just opened the gates for crypto apps, and its moved insiders are calling hugely bullish. But here's the catch. These moves aren't random. They're pieces of a bigger puzzle. And if you don't connect the dots today, you're going to miss the bigger opportunity in crypto history. Plus, we will be jumping over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in crypto today. We'll take a look ahead at next week's financial calendar on Forex Factory and find out what important news could really move the markets. We'll take a look at XRP in the charts. We're also going to be taking a look at the short-term and long-term momentum waves and so much more in this video today. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news doing research like we do for you, make sure you smash that subscribe button today. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. And we here at the Bull Runners are giving away $100 in XRP. We're actually giving it away every single week. The announcement will be held tomorrow, Sunday. Make sure you subscribe today. Congratulations to Trial by Fire for winning last week's. And if you want to win this week, all you have to do is like this post, comment XRP below, sign up for Blowfin using our affiliate link right here, and the announcement will be made in our daily email newsletter on the Sunday edition. You can always also subscribe to our Altcoin Secrets daily newsletter and get our free ebook if you would like to do that as well. And before we get into the headlines of the day, let's go ahead and take a look at the health of the overall crypto market today. We had a slippage a tiny bit, 0.96% to the downside. We are currently sitting at $2.98 trillion. Total market cap. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now that we do have a new higher high as far as market structure, will we be coming back down to retest these previous highs at the $2.7 trillion as a pullback before the next move to the upside? When we zoom out on this scale here, we can see we have officially taken out the previous high from March 25th, 2025 at 2.87 trillion, and we are hovering at that $3 trillion mark. Need to create this as an official support, make our move back up into these highs right in here. As we can see, these high levels, we need to break these next. That is at 3.25 trillion, creating another newer high. As we can see in the last 24 hours, only $48 billion worth of volume, so nothing major happening this weekend. Fear and Greed Index coming in at 56. Yesterday was 55. Last week of 53. Altcoin Season Index is actually starting to tick up. We're at 23. Yesterday was an 18. Last week a 12. It is still full on orange Bitcoin season at the moment. And that, of course, is because Bitcoin dominance coming in at 63.9%. Taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF tracker, last week's finish of the week, May 1st, came in at $676 million to the upside. We only had one down day in the ETF inflows. As I've been talking about, watching the ETF tracker will show you that the money is flowing in. You can get a head start there. On April 29th, the only down day, and only down 56 million. And when we take a look at the yearly chart, last week, $3 billion came in inflows into the ETF, followed by $1.8 billion worth of inflows. This is fantastic volume coming into the traditional markets, which also flows into the crypto markets. These are institutional players buying up big crypto. Taking a look at the top 5 cryptos by total market cap right now, Bitcoin number 1 at 1.9 trillion. How soon will it be above $2 trillion again? Number 2, Ethereum coming in at $221 billion, also registering at 1,800. Tether, number 3, coming in at $149 billion. XRP at number 4 at $2.18 at $128 billion. BNB coming in at $600 at $84 billion. And Solana at number 6 at $146, coming in at $76 billion total market cap. Looking at the financial news calendar for next week, Monday, we're going to have the services PMI, big deal. It is forecasted at 50.2. We have the federal funds rate. This is the most important thing that will be coming out next week. Watch for Wednesday. Federal funds rate is the rate decision is usually priced into the market, so it tends to be overshadowed by the FOMC statement, which that'll also be right after this, which where Jerome Powell gets out there and starts talking about we are not going to reduce interest rates, and then all the market's going to crash again. We'll see if that happens. But what this is this is the interest rates report. We are hoping for a reduction. The forecast is coming in at 4.5, meaning it's supposed to stay the same, but it would be phenomenal if we can get a reduction to 4.25. 4.0, that would really get exciting for liquidity in the market, stimulate the market, get things coming on. And then Jerome Powell coming out and talking why he did it, because our economy is doing great. Everything's going really well. And then the next day, Thursday, we have the unemployment claims coming out. It's forecasted at 232,000. If we get a beat on that as well, there is some fundamental actual news coming out over the next week that, if positive, could seriously send the markets to the upside. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now. Let's take a look at the financial news breaking today. France unveils their plans to ban crypto, including Bitcoin, because a lot of criminals are using it. Are you freaking serious, France? Get with it. Get with the times. It's 2025. This old saying about, oh, it's for the black market, it's for criminals, that is old. Get over it. Countries are buying it. Businesses are funding it. It's starting to look like the EU is going to be left behind altogether in this new financial market. Also, some not so great news coming out of Arizona. The governor, Katie Hobbs, has vetoed the state's strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation after it was passed by both the House and Senate. So the Senate said, let's go. We want to get this done. It was put on the desk for Katie Hobbs, and she decided, no, I'm going to veto this. We're not passing it. She called Bitcoin an untested investment. And some positive news for Bitcoin, billionaire BlackRock, whoops, that was a Freudian slip there. Billionaire Block CEO Jack Dorsey says new open source Bitcoin miner is coming to the market this year, and this will change everything. So if you had a way to affordably mine Bitcoin, would you set up a miner in your house just to potentially collect some real good Bitcoin rewards? And also in some positive Bitcoin news, $7.2 billion Brown University just bought $4.9 million worth of Bitcoin ETFs. Endowments are buying Bitcoins. And as you saw, the ETF chart that we continue to track is really surging forward. This $4.9 billion coming from the Brown University. As you saw in the intro, Ripple's acquisition is bigger than you think. Hidden Road is going to be a massive game changer.
They don't do any prop trading in-house. Very like they promote like conflict-free, very tech-forward. I actually met with one of the founders the other day. A phenomenal firm. And yeah, so they clear like FX, equities, commodities, digital assets, crypto, fixed income, cross-margining capabilities across all of those. Massive firm. They just got bought by Ripple. Just bought them for $1.25 billion.
So what's going inside of Brad's brain when he decided to buy that?
Genius. Ripple willed a not the most what is the polite way to put this? What I think was a very retail driven idea, which is using XRP as a clearance currency.
Right.
Obviously, that's never going to work. You can't have like a volatile asset as a clearing currency. But Ripple and Brad and David and that whole team willed this basically like silly idea, which was using XRP as a clearance currency into reality by just basically shilling this thing for years, getting the token to go up, using the capital, and now building a massive war chest. And they are turning Ripple into a real business.
They will will it into existence.
This thing is I will give
them the most amount of credit because this is what every foundation should be doing.
There's another, I would say the other person who did this strategy is Sergey at Chainlink.
Yes.
Sergey turned a meme Link, which was a meme coin, into a war chest of capital, into a company that has hundreds of employees and does deals that are 8-figure deals with L1s and L2s.
You will it into existence. And there's always a fake it till you make it kind of thing in every, and there's a fine line of how you walk that.
Yeah. Hidden Road is a legit, extremely legitimate business. And
this is the pitch for inversion, quite literally.
Build a war chest of capital and then acquire real businesses.
100%.
And I think this is genius. I think Brad, totally. I don't care what people say about Ripple anymore Brad Garlinghouse is a phenomenal operator.
He not just in crypto, he might go down as one of the best best evangelists.
But just think about what we're saying. A year ago, I would have been like ragging on Ripple and ragging on. This tells me that they're serious. This is
they might go and become bigger than Ethereum.
So as we've been talking about for years, the writing has been on the wall on this channel. If you're a subscriber, you're a genius for being here, by the way. But we've been praising Ripple, praising XRP for years, knowing big things were coming. The Hidden Road acquisition was fantastic. Now moving on, they're trying to acquire Circle. Big, massive things coming. Very exciting for XRP in the future. So that leads me over to the first article we're going to be going over today. The headline here of $1 billion XRP unlocked by Ripple as it sets new rules. Whale alert over on X.com has spotted 3 mammoth crypto transactions today carrying 1 billion XRP cumulatively. One of them, according to Whale Alert, was definitely performed by the San Francisco-based crypto juggernaut Ripple, contrary to its previous way of releasing 1 billion XRP every month. Now Ripple does it in a brand new manner. 1 billion XRP is unlocked by Ripple. The 3 transactions that were detected above mentioned come in 3 separate moves. One in 200 million, another in 300 million, and then a 500 million move. And these are from the escrow to the unknown wallets. The largest one, carrying $500 million XRP, was marked as initiated by Ripple. However, data showed by XRP Scan shows that the other 2 XRP chunks were released from escrow by the same entity. As usual, the traditional monthly 1 billion XRP was split into several transfers. The new thing here is that Ripple unleashes this staggering amount of XRP not on the first, but now on the 3rd day of the new month. Another new thing here is that Ripple now unlocks 700 million XRP in escrow before releasing the 1 billion XRP, not after, as it was before. As always, 700 million XRP is locked up on the first day of each new month, but now this money does not come from the freshly unlocked 1 billion XRP stash. By releasing a giant amount of XRP every month, Ripple supports XRP's liquidity in the market by selling part of it on exchanges to use the proceeds for covering its regular operational expenses. Now, this brings to mind what we were just talking about with the new acquisition. Was that considered regular operational expenses? Now, I've gone to battle several people in the comment section stating, personally, I know that XRP is sold by Ripple so Ripple can continue running its operation. Does that pay for their legal battles that they're going for as well? Did that pay for the acquisition of Hidden Road? Does that pay for the acquisition for the upcoming acquisition of Circle? That is what I want to know, right? So if these transactions are going on, they're strategically stashing money away, and then they're buying up things that could really boost Ripple and XRP's value over time. That's fantastic. However, the problem is, and most people also realize this, when they're selling these billions of tokens or hundreds of millions of tokens, sometimes OTC, over the counter, but sometimes those do leak out into other ways, but mainly it's over the counter. And so we don't get the actual benefit of them selling all these tokens. They're sold in secret behind the scenes. It doesn't move the markets at all. I would prefer that they actually sold these tokens on the actual market so we can get some price appreciation for all of us that have been holding for so long. XRP also injects XRP into its Ripple payments network and provides its institutional partners with additional XRP. Ripple allegedly raises Circle acquisition bid to $20 billion, and I do not agree with this. You know, they tried to get it for $5 billion. I would be okay with it going to $9 to $10 billion, but if they're going to sell all of this XRP to accumulate $20 billion worth of money to be able to buy Circle, it doesn't play out well for XRP holders. It would take probably 5 years for us to recoup that potential loss. So it is important to continue tracking these unlocks, and we'll get into the charting here in a few minutes. But as we see, May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, they haven't dumped on us. So we do look forward to continuing to hold this accumulation sideways so we can pump to the upside. Otherwise, there is a potential that they do dump on us. And if XRP starts to sell so they can make this acquisition, definitely there's a likelihood of price coming all the way back to $1.50 and bouncing off this trend line that we've been talking about now for weeks. And massive news, Warren Buffett is stepping down. So this is the biggest news when it comes to traditional finance to hit in weeks. Warren Buffett is 94 now. Investing legend, of course, is stepping down as CEO by the end of 2025. So it's not immediate or right away. He's handing over the reins to Greg Abel, his handpicked successor. And Buffett's been a crypto skeptic, famously calling Bitcoin rat poison squared. But Berkshire has indirect crypto exposure through investments like Nubank, which does offer Bitcoin, XRP, and other coins. And when we take a look at Bitcoin's price performance, which is the magenta color, versus Berkshire Hathaway's stock percentage gains, obviously Bitcoin has done a phenomenal job compared to Berkshire Hathaway. Now, Buffett's exit does matter, though, because it could signal a shift in how traditional investors view crypto. Abel might be more open to digital assets, especially as Berkshire's $334 billion cash pile needs a home. Because if you remember, before the stock market crash, Warren Buffett basically exited most of his positions. So Buffett's departure might shake up the markets, pushing investors towards alternatives like crypto. And this is a wake-up call. When the titan like Buffett steps back, it's time to rethink where the money's going to be flowing. And another earthquake in the crypto business, Apple just made a massive move for crypto following a court order. They've eased restrictions on crypto apps in their app store. And this means developers can now create apps for trading, wallets, and DeFi without jumping through many hoops. Insiders are calling this hugely bullish for the industry. And this matters to everyone in the crypto market because Apple's App Store reaches billions of users. Opening the door for crypto apps could bring millions of new people into space. And as you know, we still have not fully reached adoption levels yet. We're still early. We're still the pioneers in this adoption curve. So this could spark mainstream adoption and pump up crypto prices across the board. Jumping over to XRP in the charts, first and foremost, we are still bullish now on the daily charts for our long-term momentum wave, which is very positive. In fact, we crossed over the zero line April 25th. So we've been up there for about a week now, which is very, very positive. And our short-term momentum wave is resetting. And this is what we talked about, right? If we're riding green long-term, and we drop down on the short-term momentum to reset down to zero, which we have basically done now as of today's closing. We got a new candle. I mean, it's actually sitting at 3 or whatnot, but it could make its turn back to the upside. But we had just basically accumulation, sideways, consolidation. We didn't have a massive pullback If we were down below the zero line and we were riding bearish, the realistic spot would have been coming back to $1.50. So we got to continue watching this. I will continue monitoring this for you every day. When you watch, I'll show you this at the end of the videos. Wolfpack indicator. It is bullish right now above the zero line. And we have a nice reset on the daily. The thing that I'm most excited about is we have fully reset on the weekly, and we've been riding bullish weekly for quite some time. But when this starts to make its move to the upside, it is going to be a significant move like we had last time it reset and then made its move here. That's when we went from 53 cents all the way up to its all-time high. So the larger time frames, weekly, 3-day, daily now looking bullish, which is positive. Now the 3-day, which is exciting too, has not even crossed over the zero line for our Wolfpack indicator. So once it gets there, it just had a hidden bullish divergence back on April 19th. Once it passes over the zero line, we're going to have double confluence. So we'll have daily crossed over. We do need this to start to make its move to the upside again. We cannot be stuck here and start to drop, because if we lose this on the daily, we'll stay flat on the 3-day, and we could also remain flat on the weekly. But it is definitely time for a reset to the upside for the weekly move on XRP. In fact, when we take a look at Bitcoin, it's already started its weekly move to the upside. As you can see, it's been making its upward trajectory from April 14th, and since then it is up 15%. As we know, Bitcoin is the leader in the market. It's the big dog, and all coins will follow along with it. I'm excited to see XRP come back to the upside as well.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers,